Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is James here with Crypto Quick Start. Wanting to shoot a video today regarding Litecoin. So Litecoin has been one of my biggest investments over the last 2 years. It is also the coin that I trade more than any other coin. I've traded literally millions and millions of dollars worth of Litecoin. Sorry about that. I'm getting text alerts. But I've traded millions of dollars worth of Litecoin. And the reason I bring that up is because the more you trade a coin, the more you get used to its movements, the more you kind of get a read on what the coin might do. You never know what a coin's going to do, but it's a lot easier to get, trade a couple of assets versus trying to trade the entire marketplace, at least when you're first starting out. So one thing I wanted to point out was, I've been trading Litecoin a lot, and a lot of people have asked me, dude, aren't you nervous about selling your Litecoin? The Litecoin halving is coming up. And we know that the last time a halving happened, it preceded a major bull run where the coin went up like 100x, literally from $3 or $4 to like $420. So the question has been, doesn't that make me nervous? And the answer has been no, not really. And I wanted to actually show you on a chart, number one, why it doesn't make me nervous. But I also wanted to point out that you can't obviously just look at a past chart and then automatically assume the exact same thing is going to happen. It's a very dangerous thing to do. My real reason I'm not nervous is just because I feel like it's going to retrace at some point, and I will be able to buy back lower than what I sold for. Right now, full disclosure, I still have about half of my Litecoin. The half I sold for between $105 and $106 on a cost average. So if you were just looking at it apples to apples, saying, well, today's price is 116, and you sold at 105, oh my God, you're down. I guess technically I would be, behind the market. But again, those are realized gains versus unrealized gains. So we'll have to see where Litecoin is when I buy it back. Will I buy it back cheaper than 105? I think I will. But with all that being said, let's just back up. Let's go way back here to 2015. The last Litecoin halving happened on August 26th of 2015. And that was right here where you can see the vertical bar. And what you probably may not know, depending on whether you've looked at this, is yes, there was a lot of hype, and yes, there was a lot of buildup, and yes, there was a huge rally before that happened. In fact, if we look at the price, and we'll just kind of, we'll just go from this low. How about that? We'll go from the low that was about 4 months before that. We'll go from that low way down there around $1, and it shot all the way up to about $9. So that's about, just shy of 800%. Massive, massive run up. But if you look from the time that it peaked until the time the halving actually happened, took about 48 days. And in that time, it dropped around 67, 68% from the top. So it wasn't like it went up into the halving and then just kept going up and went to the moon. It actually had a massive pullback, right? I mean, that's just an absolute... Imagine you bought up here at $9. Do you know how long you were underwater from that top? Think about this. I mean, take a guess if you don't know. Was it weeks? Was it months? Was it years? It was freaking long time. So $9 in July of 2015... and it didn't get back above $9 until March, April 2017. 2 years you were underwater if you bought at the top right before the halving. 2 freaking years. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine, like, let's say Litecoin, let's just ballpark figure it. Let's say it goes to $150. Okay, or hell, you know what? Let's do the same thing. It went up 8x. Okay, so it went up from $1 to almost $9. So let's say that it goes up from the new bottom, $22. Let's pull a calculator up. Let's say it goes up from 22 times 9, say $198. Okay, if you're up there buying in the upper 100s, and it repeats itself, and we don't know if it will, but if it repeats itself, you may not be able to break even on your investments for 2 years. It may be 2021 before you are back even on your buy. Now, again, we don't know. We can't look at a chart and say, well, this is what happened last time. It's for sure what's going to happen this time. I'm just pointing out that, this idea that everybody seems to have is, the halving kicks off a huge bull run, and if you're not in before the halving, you're just totally screwed. I'd rather wait I'd rather, if it goes to 200, fine. I'd rather wait until it retraces and buy on the retracement. And that way I'm not underwater, or I have at least a less chance of being underwater. Because again, if we look at this, 48 days out, it topped and then it dropped 67%. So if we compare that to 2019, you can't hardly see this. Let me pull it down. 48 bars out, again, if it plays out the same way, we would make a top somewhere around June 18th, which is about 11 days from now. Seems reasonable to that might happen, right? This might actually jump up there. We might see Bitcoin make a run, toward 9 grand. Might, I don't think so, but might. And this might run up there and maybe ping, 130, 140. If we zoom out and look at a bigger chart, let me zoom out on the 3-day real quick to show you something. If we zoom out on the 3-day and we draw some fibs real quick, I'm just going to eyeball this from the top, somewhere up here, down to the bottom, somewhere over here. 156 would be our 38 level. So maybe we go up, we hit it, test it, bounce off of it, and then come back down. I can see that. That wouldn't be surprising to me, right? So let's say that, again, theoretically, let's say that happens. Let's say we come over here and we top out right up here around 158. Okay, cool. If we drop from that point 67%, that means between there and the halving, if it went down 67%, that would put the price somewhere around $50. Now again, I know I'm getting long-winded, but I'm going to show you something. Does that seem ridiculous? Maybe it does to you, unless you actually look at the fibs. If we draw it from, again, we're just going to quickly eyeball from the bottom. Let's say that our top is right at that 38 level. What's the 61 fib? 73.5. What's the 86? Right around $51. How often, not the 86, the 78. How often does it come down to 78? On alts, quite a bit. On Bitcoin, 61 tends to be like a magical number. But on alts, it wouldn't be abnormal at all to see this kind of do some weird stuff, come down here, ping off of that line, maybe put in some structure in here, and then slowly grind sideways for a couple of years, right? And then slowly make its way back up. It seems, when I understand the FOMO and the enthusiasm and the euphoria, it's really high right now because we've been on this 5 or 6 month tear, but markets don't go straight up, and they do tend to go down a lot faster than they go up. It can take months and months for something to go up, and weeks or days for it to come down. So I don't think that's far-fetched. That's the reason that I've sold so much of my Litecoin. And if we do get up here into this 38 fib area, I'll probably be looking to unload some more, and then I'll be waiting for it to retrace. And I would freaking love to get in down here around $50, because again, I told you, right now my cost average, I sold about $105, about half my coins. If I sell the other half up around 155, if it gets there, that would put my cost average somewhere around 125. So if I can buy back down here, $50, $55, I'm basically going to get 2.5 times the same number of Litecoins. So, I'm going to almost 3x my stack if it comes down there. And then if it goes up and makes new highs, look out, right? It's going to be an amazing thing. But if I just hold it and don't sell any, and it comes up here and then it comes back down, I'm going to be really sad. I'm going to be unhappy that I didn't sell any. So of course, I took profits. So I know the video is long, but listen, it's not opinions. I'm backing this up with charts. I'm showing you my reasoning behind this stuff. The fibs right here, 38 fib is at 156 level. Obviously, we're overbought on a lot of indicators right now in the short term. We're coming up here. We're coming up on the 48 days before the halving mark. Last time, that was the top. Then it dropped 67%. So if it drops 67% to $50, that's not an absurd number. That would be a 78 retracement on the fib. Again, you can go look at any alt chart. That's not uncommon. A lot of times you'll see them come down and kind of bounce around between the 37 and 78. If we go back, and I'm going to wrap up after this, let's just take a look. Let's take a look at the fibs. Okay, so if we come from this bottom right here, which was on April 7th, 2015, it bottomed at 98 cents. And then it topped out over here. So let's just look at that real quick. It bottomed at 98.5 cents, 98.5. It topped out at 890. We'll call it 896. It's actually 896 something. Okay. Where did it come down to? So it went up, came down, 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 down. There's the 61 fib, came down, down, down. Look at that. Look at that. There's the 78 right there. Bam, bam, bam. Came down, hit the 78 fib, actually went through it just a couple of days before the halving. Let's draw it right here. You can see right here is our fib. Came down, went through it on a wick, acted as support a little bit, came down, found support, and moved sideways. And it moved sideways again for quite a while, right? Had a little bit of false rally there. So, not far-fetched, right? Not absurd to say, okay, we're going to come back down to that 78 level. And if we do, that 78 level, and this is on a Bitfinex chart, 78 level is right around 51 bucks. Okay? Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please feel free to leave me comments. If you're watching this on Facebook, leave a comment below, like it, all that good stuff. Facebook's algorithm really depends on that. If you're watching it on YouTube, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. And heck, leave me a comment. You guys, I get views, but no one ever says anything. So I'd love to have a conversation with you. And if you are watching it on YouTube and you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. And also, please feel free to come hang out in the Facebook group. I share a lot more in there than I do YouTube because I can just throw a quick post up versus having to do an entire video. All right, this is James with Crypto Quick Start. Please remember that I am some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. I am not a professional financial advisor. You should always do your own due diligence before making any type of investment in cryptocurrency, and you should seek professional investment advice. Have a great day.